Look at this decal. This bike comes to us all the way from Natick, Massachusetts. This is what you call a MOTOBECANE. So it was made in France and sold in Natick, Massachusetts. These shifters are Suntour. They were made in Japan. The model of this bike is called the Grand Touring. And I'd say that's a pretty grand tour from France to Natick. So here's your MOTOBECANE France logo. And please pardon my shadow, the lighting's pretty complicated today. There's the typical MOTOBECANE rubber handlebar gripper stuff that looks like it's stitched leather, but it's not. And you know, I don't think I've ever even tried to remove one of these, but it looks like they go on in one piece with the brake lever hood, so I have no idea how you'd even get that on or off. This has a Marukin tire, which may have been made in Japan or Taiwan. Weinmann brakes, and I think Weinmann brakes come from, like, I don't know, maybe Germany. Rigida rims from France. These really cool Atom pedals with Christophe toe clips. Not a huge fan of toe clips. Suntour derailleur in the front. Stripes, paint, stripes. This has double-butted Vitus tubing. MOTOBECANE touring seat. And Jim Blackburn from right here in America provided this rack where it looks like somebody mounted panniers. Is that how you pronounce it? Pannier? Let's go to France. In the back you have 5 cogs for a total of 10 speeds. Suntour VGT Luxe derailleur. And if you look at this frame from a distance, you can see it's really tall. I mean, there's a wide angle lens on this camera, sort of. So it makes it look a little smaller than it is, but this is a 64 centimeter frame, I think. It's got pinstriping on the lugwork. So, the bike started in France with components that started in Japan, made its way to Natick, Massachusetts, and then I found it here in New York. And I haven't done much to it. I cleaned it a little bit. Not too much though. I like the grime on these bikes, and I think sometimes I shoot myself in the foot by not cleaning them, because a lot of people don't like a grimy bike, but it really depends who's buying it. Here's your clever simplex brake routing, your nice clean seat stayed junction cable routing, 1, 2, 3 little eyelets, cable guides, whatever you call them. The cranks are by, well, they say MOTOBECANE, but if you look carefully on the sprocket it says SR. So that's another Japanese component. So it looks like before anybody even rode this bike, it went on a grand tour. From Japan to France to Massachusetts to New York. Look at this cool fork crown. Little MOTOBECANE logo there. And then here's the grime that I didn't wipe off completely. Oops. Listen, it's winter, even though it's hot today. So, I don't know what's going to happen to this MOTOBECANE next. If it'll continue life as a touring bike, if somebody will make it into my favorite type of bike, a single speed. Although, it doesn't look like it has much room in the dropouts. Is that a spacer in there? Or is that just the dropouts that aren't really machined out? The problem is, of course, that even though today the weather is sunny, tomorrow it's going to be cloudy, overcast, and maybe people won't be thinking about buying touring bikes. But maybe, oh, this is cool. The brake routing goes through this reflector bracket. Of course, it's cool until you lose the reflector bracket, and then you just have to say, how do I route my brakes now? I'm sure you can buy these though at, what's that place? Velo Orange? What's the other one? Grand Prix, Rivendell. Yeah, I'm sure they sell something like that. Diacomp brakes, levers here. That's so you can ride upright and still utilize the braking system, which still works pretty well. Wow, it really does. So I hope that somebody here in New York, because I love New York, will take this MOTOBECANE and use it as like a winter project, build it up, and then go on some grand tours in the spring and summer. So that is the long saga and the unfinished story of the MOTOBECANE grand touring road bike here as usual in the beautiful city of Newburgh, New York. And you know, quite frankly, I don't know why anyone would want to leave Newburgh, New York. Just ride your bike around here. You can take a tour to Newburgh. Oh, I forgot to mention pinstripes. But if you don't want to spend your life riding around Route 300 and Route 52 and Route 17K, the tour to Newburgh, then this MOTOBECANE, if you're tall, could take you on a grand tour of your own. From France to Japan to Natick, Massachusetts, and onward and upward.